Interest rates will still continue to rise by the end of 2023. Whether you're a homeowner or buyer, what can you do to actually reduce the stress of high installments? Hello everyone, I'm Vivian and welcome back to my channel. The truth is, if you're sitting on a fence on whether to buy a property at this moment in time due to high interest rates, you are not alone, as those who purchased a property and took up a fixed loan package of 1 to 1.5% 2 to 3 years ago will also be concerned about this as well, as they are due for refinance today. This is why in this video, I'll be sharing with you 4 key strategies on how do you actually reduce the stress of high installments. Now stick with me till the end, as the last one which I'll be sharing is often overlooked in today's high interest environment. The first strategy we'll be talking about is planning ahead for your home loan package. Take for example, if you were to purchase a new launch property 3 years ago at 1 to 1.5%, you will still have to finance your property based on 3.5 to 4% today. If you have purchased a property a year ago and locked in at a fixed interest rate of 1 to 1.5% for 3 years, the current interest rates will not bother you at all. Which is why, based on these 2 scenarios, you can see that it is not about buying a property when interest rates are low or high, but more about how you can plan around your loan packages to ensure that your average interest rates in the long run for the next 10 years or so is at its lowest. Understanding that interest rates fluctuates from time to time, the right strategy is to lock in a low interest rates for a long period of time and pay high interest rates for a short period of time. The second strategy I'll be talking about is coordinating the timing of your rental to your loan package. I've come across many owners who have been locked in with a low rental and high interest situation. This actually causes a lot of stress as the rental does not cover the installment and costs. Therefore, if you are buying a property for rental purposes, it is important for you to time your rental with your loan package. For example, if you have purchased a property with an interest rate of 3.5 to 4% with a low rental and a balance lease of 8 months, the risk is that you will not know what the rental rates will be 8 months later. The better way is to secure a unit which already has a very good rent locked in for the next 2 years, or buy with vacant possession provided that you have done your homework that this property you'll be getting is collecting the highest rental possible based on your budget. However, there are many scenarios whereby the rental alone will only be able to cover your installment and cost of owning the property. And in this case, will it still make sense for you to buy a property at this point? Which is why the next strategy I'll be sharing is equally important. This brings us to the third strategy, which is to focus on sellers sitting on high profit margin. This will also be important if you are purchasing a rental property for own stay purpose. Essentially, what this actually means is to purchase lower than market price to write off the interest rate increment and make your property purchase a safer one. Taking this particular development as example, these 2 units in the same block and stack, just one level difference have been transacted in May 2023. Level 12 transacted at 1.53 million, whereas level 13 transacted close to 1.63 million. Although a higher floor should rightfully cost more, but we are actually talking about a whopping difference of close to $100,000, putting the level 12 owner at a very favorable position. Now, this is also taking into account that many units of the same size in this development have transacted at a range of 1.55 million to highest 1.73 million at around the same period of time. This also means by entering at 1.53 million, this buyer would have purchased at a considerably lower price than the neighbors, which translates as savings to balance off the excess interest payable during this period. At the same time, this also acts as a safety buffer when it comes to selling in the future. So having seen all the transactions that have happened before selling, why is it that this 12th floor owner is willing to let go at a much lower price than the neighbors? Comparing the purchase price of level 12 and level 13, we can see that the level 12 owner actually purchased at a much lower price. Even if the seller of 12th floor sold at a lower price, he is sitting on a significantly higher profit of $894,000. Therefore, the key to spotting such units is to know the owner's previous purchase price. The lower the price, the higher the profit margin, which translates to the higher your chance will be to get a discounted unit if they are serious in selling. The last strategy which I'll be sharing is finding a development that has a longer payment schedule. Now this is one which has benefited one of my clients recently. I've spotted a development which allows her to pay just a 20% down payment at this point in time. With her installment starting in the first quarter of 2025, which is nearly 1.5 years before they begin, this sets it apart from most new launches where installments typically starts within 6 months of purchase. This actually gives my client more than sufficient time to save up her CPF to offset her installments by then. 3 years later, she can also have the option to sell as a sub-sale unit before TOP. This arrangement will greatly benefit her as the interest and installments payable is kept to the minimal and there are no property tax and maintenance fees to be paid before TOP. Should the interest rates drop by then, this will mean her cost of owning this property will drop even further, therefore maximizing her return on investment. On top of that, we also managed to secure a unit which is lower in terms of entry price in the entire development and surrounding transactions in other condos as well, which puts her in the most ideal position when purchasing a property. Of course, there are still many other strategies which allows you to purchase a property with little to no impact, or even if you are a homeowner today, there is also ways to reduce your installments. However, this will be too long for me to cover here today. Do reach out to me if you wish to find out more on how you can leverage on my strategies, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!